Good morning, this is Jesse Blanigan. It is, let's see, Saturday, the 5th of October, 2019. I see where on July 19th I put up a video of the exorcism of Jeffrey Epstein, which I will welcome you to watch if you haven't. I'll put a link to it below. However, I have to admit something. I was wrong. I publish what the pendulum says, but I often give my own ideas, my own interpretation of it. And often, being a human, I can be wrong. And I basically had assumed that since Jeffrey Epstein was alive that he'd basically been rescued. However, I have been testing him, and I think the true story is different. And I think it's important that this comes out. So I'm going to show you what the true story is. I went back and saw part of that video now, and I see where his energy age at that time, in other words, an indicator of his health after I did the exorcism. Before the exorcism, they are 888, which indicates that they are possessed, similar to the 666 of the Antichrist. And his energy age was 59.1. I have it written down here. So we're going to connect to Jeffrey Epstein at the present moment, who of course is alive. Okay. We're going to check his energy age, which was 59.1. which was not bad for somebody 60-something years old, whatever, however his age is. 10, so it's already moving. 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55, 56, 57, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 57.3, 57.4, and it's going to stop. 57.3. So he's actually a little better health-wise, a little bit, than he was that a couple months ago. Okay, but I think I checked at that time, can't remember when, his what I call his emotional frequency. And this was not my idea. It came out where somebody published an article about emotional frequency and its effect on our health. However, the emotional frequency, when it's high, 1000 is pure love, and yes, I have tested people 7, 8, even 900. Okay. But when people have most average people around 500 or so. People with some emotional problems are often 300. People with serious emotional problems are under 200. And they were saying that under 200, cancer patients almost always have an emotional frequency under 200. However, there's different emotions. You know, fear is one, a very low frequency emotion. But then jealousy, hate, some of these, you could see where they could affect you. Greed is also low frequency. However, I don't know of anybody, greedy people, who died especially young because of their greed. So not all these low frequency emotions affect your longevity or your health. However, they're still low frequency. So as an example, I'm going to test some of these things on Jeffrey Epstein. And I'm going to do it now, 1 year ago, and let's say 10 years ago. Okay, to compare and see how this gives us a better idea of what's really going on with Jeffrey Epstein. I don't have visions, I could ask, but I don't see the place where he is, and I could spell out people's names that are with him, but it's a slow process, and nobody would investigate it anyway, so I'll stick with this for today to not make it too long. Okay, I'm just going to show you here the emotional frequency of something that he definitely had, greed. The emotional frequency of greed. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, and it's going to stop. 41. So greed is 41. Okay. Let's check the emotional frequency of fear. Fear is supposed to be one of the lowest frequency emotions. Okay. The emotional frequency of fear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 22, 23, and it's going to stop. Fear is 22. Okay. Now, normally I would not test this for people, but in his case, of course, we know he was sexually perverted. So I'm gonna ask a question. How would this an emotion for, to not put it so negative, sexual desire? No, let's say perverted sexual desire. Yeah, okay. We'll put it that way. Perverted sexual desire as an emotion. 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 54, 55, and stop. 54. To make it short, I'm just going to call it sex. Okay. And we're going to measure those three. Our emotions are what I call a soup of a mix of all these different frequencies, and they can be dominated by one or the other. Okay, so we're going to go back to Jeffrey Epstein, I think I said 10 years ago, 1 year ago, and now, and check what has changed in these. And as I've already tested, but I want to clarify it here, his emotion of fear has increased greatly. So I think that indicates something that's happening to him. That I'll explain that a little bit more once we get these numbers out. Okay, let's go back to Jeffrey Epstein, the Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, 10 years ago. Okay, his emotional frequency was 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92. 93. If I think 94, it's going to stop. 93. 10 years ago, 93. Okay, now we're going to ask what percentage of these emotions were made up of these different negative emotions: greed, fear, and sex desire, perverted sexual desire. Okay? Okay, what percentage of that was made up of greed? This is 10 years ago when the average was 93. Of course, there's lots of other emotions involved too, and I won't be able to guess them all, but let's see. What percentage of that was greed? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 33, 34. It's going to stop. 33% greed. Okay, now we'll go to fear. Of course, he's going to have some fear because he's doing illegal stuff, right? What percentage of his emotional soup was fear? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and if I think 14, it stops. 13% fear. A man is going by who repairs or sells brooms, escolas. Okay, and what percent of here was his perverted sexual emotion? 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. Well, 49%. 49. 50, and it stops. Okay, I'm not going to add them up here. Well, I might do that below, but those add up to, like 3/4 of his emotion, or more than 3/4 of his emotions were made up of those three: greed, fear, and perverted sexual desire. Okay, let's connect to him 5 years ago. Now remember, his emotional frequency 10 years ago was 93. 5 years ago, and I think this would have been somewhere in there, was, of course, he was sent to the so-called jail. Okay, 5 years ago. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 56, 57, 58, 58, 59. His emotions actually went down. 58. 5 years ago it was 58. Okay. Now we'll check the percentage of that was greed 5 years ago. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 52, 53. 52% of that was greed. Okay. Getting greedier. Okay. Fear. What percentage of that was fear? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and it's going to stop. 18% fear. It went up from 13 to 18. Okay. And what percentage of that emotion was this perverted sexual desire? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 31, 32, and it's going to stop. 31%. Okay, so it actually went down a little bit from 49 to 31. Okay, now let's connect the important thing here. Now let's connect to Jeffrey Epstein now. Okay, I have the connection. His emotional frequency now. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 22, 23, and it's going to stop. 22, 23, and it's going to stop. See, there's 23. 23, nothing. 23. But if I think 22, see, it starts spinning again. So it is 22. It went way down from 93 to 58 to 22, which interestingly is the, wow, is the frequency of fear. Okay, let's see what percentage of his emotional frequency now is composed of greed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 0.1, 0.2, and it's going to stop. We'll call it 10. 11, it's going to stop. 10% greed. It went down from 52% to 10%. He's not thinking about getting rich right now, or richer, or keeping his riches. Okay, what percent of his emotions are fear? There could be other ones, equally low, or maybe possibly even lower, like the desire to kill people. That's not part of fear, but it's a super low emotion, right? Revenge, things like that. Okay, what percentage of his emotions right now are fear? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 68. Put up the two hands to hold it, that's 68. It would stay spinning there, of course. 68, I'm not moving the pendulum, it moves on my own, on its own. 68, 69, it's going to stop. Put up my two hands, 69, 69, nothing. 68. 68, and it starts spinning again. 68% of his emotions are fear. Okay, now the other one is his perverted sexual desires. What percentage of that are those? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6%. 6%. 0.1, and it's going to stop. 6%. 6%. Okay, I'll put these numbers down below to not add them up here, but it gives you a picture that something has definitely happened with Jeffrey Epstein, that his emotional frequencies went way down, that his greed has went way down. Obviously, it's being dominated by other things. His fear has gone up to where it's 68% of his emotions. And his sexual desires went down from 31% to 6%. I think this means that I was pretty wrong in assuming that Jeffrey Epstein had escaped and was now happily somewhere, right? And there's things on the internet saying that they'll probably change his face and pay him off and all this stuff. theoretically, if he rats on the other people. Well, I don't think that's the real situation. The real situation here is somebody has Jeffrey Epstein, and he actually has fear for his life or whatever. So I think to me, that's a good sign, because he deserves it. Maybe I shouldn't judge, but I think all humans judge to some point. Okay? That's the story. I was wrong about Jeffrey Epstein. He did not escape, if you want to use those words. He was taken away, and he is definitely not a happy-go-lucky gummy bear wherever he is. And let's see where he is. Okay? Last time he was in Germany, basically. Is Jeffrey Epstein in the USA? And it's saying no. Is he in Europe? No. Latin America? Yes. Somewhere in Latin America. Is he in Guantanamo? I don't really believe all the stories about that they're getting ready for Guantanamo. It's a possibility. But look at this. Is Jeffrey Epstein in Guantanamo? Guantanamo, the U.S. installation in Guantanamo. Yes. That's interesting. See, pendulum still surprises me. I didn't really expect him to be there. You know, some people would probably create that rumor. Jeffrey Epstein is in Guantanamo. Interesting. Okay, I'll stop this because this gets longer. Okay, I'll put those numbers down below, and you can add them up yourselves. And of course, there's other emotions that are included in those emotional frequencies. But these add up to the major emotions of his emotional frequency. So I was wrong. It appears that Jeffrey Epstein is now in Guantanamo Bay. Maybe not Guantanamo Bay. The Guantanamo, was it naval, whatever, something there of the USA? Interesting. Goodbye.